Straight ahead on 12 News, solving a daycare dilemma. We'll take you to one daycare that for some also means a diploma. Then Fiscal Cliff impact, what Robbinsdale area schools say budget doom will do to the classroom. But first, not as much money as hoped. What's behind lower than expected Viking Stadium pull tab revenue? 12 News starts right now. Funding for the new Viking Stadium is supposed to come from revenues generated by electronic pull tabs.
But nearly 3 months after the gambling devices made their Minnesota debut, state finance experts say they are not generating as much money as expected. Delane Cleveland joins us now with more. Delane?
Jen and Alex, yesterday the Minnesota Office of Management and Budget released the state financial forecast that shows the anticipated electronic pull tab revenue was about $16 million. That's down from the original estimate of $34 million. We talked to one local American Legion where they're taking a wait-and-see approach with electronic pull tabs. At the Chesterbird American Legion in Golden Valley, bright signs and flashing lights draw people to the pull tab booth situated next to the bar.
We do right around $2 million in gross, of which about 80% of that is paid back in winnings.
In other words, it's a popular form of gambling. But something you won't find here in Golden Valley are the electronic pull tabs that state lawmakers approved earlier this year to pay the nearly $1 billion price tag of the new Viking Stadium.
We're just waiting to see.
Gambling manager Jim Coomer says it's because there's only one approved electronic pull tab vendor in the state.
He's no track record with me. He's no track record with the state. He never was in the state.
He's not the only one who has that same mindset. State gambling officials say they want to have electronic pull tabs in roughly 300 locations. Today, they only have them in 75.
They've licensed one individual and at this point have not licensed another one. And most of us will not go with a individual that does not use our suppliers.
The Gambling Control Board maintains that more vendors are on the way. In the meantime, they say places that have electronic pull tabs have been pleased with the product. Coomer calls them novelty items, but he still plans on getting them in Golden Valley at some point to attract younger gamblers.
Because paper is the older cut type of gambler, and we were looking towards the younger gambler who is familiar with electronics.
For now, though, they're sticking with good old-fashioned paper pull tabs.
It's going to be almost a year from now before I think this effectively gets going.
State gambling officials tell me that the gambling board should have 2 more vendors approved later this month and probably about 2 more early next year. And Jen and Alex, some of the holdup has to do with background checks and just game designs, but the board, they say that there's no worry right now, no need to be concerned. The funding shortfall should not be any sort of thing that people should be concerned about, so we'll just wait and see.
It takes time, but it's going to get there.
It is early, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Delane. While pressure mounts on Congress to avoid the so-called fiscal cliff, local schools are sharing what drastic cuts would mean to them. If no budget deal is reached by the end of the year, more than $4 billion in education cuts would start taking effect nationwide. For Robbinsdale area schools, the cuts would total more than $500,000. Robbinsdale school board members say it would lead to larger class sizes and staff cuts. Robbinsdale area schools passed a resolution urging Congress and the Obama administration to protect education. Federal programs affected by the fiscal cliff include Title I grants, which help school districts with a high percentage of low-income students. Well, any parent knows affording the cost of childcare can be a major challenge.
And now imagine being a single teenage parent. The estimated yearly cost of $13,500 for childcare in Minnesota makes it nearly impossible for a teen mother to return to school. And that's why the Brooklyn Center School District is stepping in.
Make sure you're writing full sentences for those answers.
It's 11 o'clock in the morning and 16-year-old Paulette Alvarado is exactly where she should be.
You still have about 20 minutes.
In English class.
So take your time.
Things are more possible now, so more possible for both of us.
Paulette missed most of 8th and 9th grade because at 14, she became a mother to Julian.
If the daycare wasn't here, I wouldn't be able to come because nobody would be taking care of him. I would have to take care of him.
This week, the Brooklyn Center School District took a step forward, opening Baby Steps. It's a licensed daycare located right across the hall from Brooklyn Center's alternative high school, where some teen mothers like Paulette are enrolled.
These women are smart, they're intelligent, they're happy to be here, they're working hard to get here. They get off that bus when it's still dark out in the morning, so they are working hard to get their life on track to make sure that they're successful.
With parenting and healthcare services on site for mother and child, the program is designed to take care and educate the babies so teen mothers and fathers can get their diplomas.
We want them back in school. We want to help them get on their feet. A big part of our program is delaying that second pregnancy. Sometimes people criticize people helping out teens. Well, you're just encouraging them to have more kids. We're encouraging them to be successful is what we're doing.
Back in school now,
I feel more proud of myself.
Paulette peps up when she talks about her future.
Julian.
One that includes her son and a diploma.
I don't feel like, oh, I miss school and I'm not gonna do anything. Now I come to school, I know I'm going somewhere.
The Baby Steps program at Brooklyn Center Schools is funded through a collaboration of partnerships that include the county, nonprofits, and grants.
A design team has been chosen to build the new Brooklyn Park Library. The Hennepin County Board has approved a contract with Minneapolis-based Hamel, Green, and Abramson. HGA has designed award-winning libraries around the country, including the Ramsey County Library in Maplewood. The new Brooklyn Park Library would be twice the size of the current building and even bigger square footage-wise than the Ramsey County Library. If the county board approves the first phase of the design process, construction could begin in the spring of 2014. The new Brooklyn Park Library would be located near the intersection of 85th Avenue North and West Broadway on property purchased from North Hennepin Community College. Well, turkey dinners with all the trimmings go hand in hand with the holidays.
But one food shelf is taking a different approach to help families put holiday meals on the table. This week, employees from Home Depot dropped in at CEAP to put together more than 100 meals. CEAP decided not to do a holiday food program this year and instead is leaning on corporate partners like Home Depot to donate and distribute food. The change should free up more money for the food shelf.
All of that money that we would have used for the holiday program to do holiday meals, we're able to reuse on a daily basis here to help the huge number of families we're serving.
Families that need food often have bigger issues to address. The free meals help CEAP make contact with those families and hopefully get to the root of their problems. Still ahead, what's cooking at Cooper?
In the case of one standout student, it's a whole bunch of things. And then later in sports, a new head coach is in charge of the Armstrong boys hockey program as the Falcons prepare for their home opener.
But first, it's a look at your AccuWeather forecast.
A local domestic shelter wants to be on your Christmas list this year.
A Home Free in Plymouth says they need your help creating Christmas for some deserving battered women and children.
This year we have our capacity has been over. We've been full. We've had to turn away a lot more people than we've had in the past. So it's been a really tough year for us for being able to provide services.
The Christmas wish list includes new items for women and children. The greatest needs are plus size or petite clothing for women and gift items for teenagers and babies. Gift cards are always a great option too. Home Free asks that all of the items be brand new and unwrapped and delivered by December 19th.
It's really nice to have some extra fun stuff like good smelling bath things for the women or a really fun toy for the kids that, you know, they don't have anything like that.
If you have a donation, you can call Home Free at 763-559-9008 to let them know. Well, every school has at least one student, the student that seems to know everyone and is good at everything.
At Cooper High School, that person is Micah Dixon, and she is this week's Standout Student.
So what you need to do is grab the frying pan.
Wherever Micah Dixon is,
You're gonna get onion powder, Parmesan, paprika, and seasoning salt, I believe.
she emerges as a leader,
You wanna do that?
even when the task at hand is learning to cook potato skins.
Being able to cook food with awesome people is what I love about this class.
In her senior year at Robbinsdale Cooper High School,
Yeah, it's cooking. Loving it.
Micah is just one of those students who everyone seems to know and everyone seems to like.
She's kind of known for being that student who's involved in everything.
Carrie Geisey relies on Micah for all sorts of help around the school.
Yeah, just rinse them off a bit.
And Micah always delivers.
She has such an optimistic outlook on everything. I think that if everybody had a little Micah in them, it would be a better place. She just has the ability to make everybody happy.
I don't know, bringing a smile to people's faces and staying positive, that's my passion right now.
Micah's talents run the gamut. We met her 4 years ago when she was starring in The Sound of Music. But she doesn't need a stage to find her way into the spotlight. Micah is part of a slew of leadership and community service groups.
I love the fact that I can contribute to the well-being of others. Just making sure that the people around me are succeeding, not just myself. That is what really keeps me going. Thank you.
As she considers pursuing pre-med or education next year in college,
Is this clean?
a future working in the service of others is simply who she is.
As long as I'm helping people, that's all that matters to me. Bringing a smile to people's face, that's all that matters to me.
And Micah still finds time for theater as well. In fact, she was just cast as the Scarecrow in Cooper's upcoming production of The Wiz. So a very nice young woman.
Multi-talented, looks like.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, coming up, a new jolt of energy for Maple Grove.
We'll take you live inside the newest addition to the city, a brand new cafe and coffee house.
But first in sports, the Hopkins girls basketball team looks just as strong as the Royals state title team from last winter. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
John Jacobson joins us now with sports.
And a new face always kind of creates a new dynamic for a team.
It does, yeah. I got a chance to work with some of the kids in the summer. Well, now the season's starting. It's a little bit different and an optimistic team, I think, too. A new start for the Armstrong boys hockey team this winter as a new coach leads the Falcons into the season. Former Benilde St. Margaret's player and assistant coach Dan Charleston is Armstrong's new head coach. A pretty experienced group of players made the team upbeat for the season.
I think we look good. We're skating fast. We worked hard throughout the summer, so should be good.
There's a lot of seniors this year. I think it's a total of 19 or 20 seniors, so it's an older team. But I want to instill some of that youth, some of the younger guys, to learn from these older guys, and I want the older guys to set the.
The Falcons are 1-2 so far with a win over Legacy Christian and losses to Hopkins and St. Michael Albertville. Armstrong scored a big upset in the playoffs last season as the number 2 seed. They knocked off number 2 seed Eden Prairie in the section tournament. That showed the returning players what they could accomplish.
I think it does. I think with that in the back of our minds, we know that anything can be done out on the ice, and we're working hard as we can this year to do that again.
After 3 road games started the season, the Falcons are home for 8 straight contests, starting tonight, Thursday, against Andover. In girls basketball, 3 area teams won state titles last season. The Hopkins girls are back for more after claiming the Class 4A championship. Bad news for Royals opponents, they may be just as good this season. They lost Sydney Coffey to last year's team to graduation, and a recent knee injury has now taken Vieira Livingston out of the mix. But the rest of a deep, talented group is here to chase another title.
Definitely will be a lot faster, more athletic, and I feel like since we have 3 stars back, we still have that same notch from last year, so we'll be just as good.
I think this team will be really good on defense. Like, we play defense really hard, and that's just like, it's not only a team thing, it's just like a Hopkins program thing. Like, we have to be like really good defenders.
The Royals have been tested some so far in a 5-0 start, especially by Bloomington Kennedy in a 4-point win. The Royals go at each other hard in practice, so they're ready for anything an opponent brings.
Oh no, we try to make practice as competitive as possible. We feel like if we want to make practice harder than the games.
Hopkins is at New Prague Friday, then hosts defending Class 2A champion Providence Academy Saturday afternoon. It's another great day coming up Saturday for Hoops fans. Many of the state's top Division I college boys basketball prospects will play in the Breakdown Sports tip-off classic at Minnetonka High School. 7 local teams are in the one-day event. Hopkins takes on Tartan at 2 o'clock. Defending Class 4A champion Osseo plays Eastview at 5:15. All 4 of those teams are ranked in the top 15 in Class 4A. Maple Grove meets New Prague, the 10th-ranked team in Class 3A at 5:30. Park Center, ranked number 7 in 4A, faces the state's top-ranked prospect, Tyus Jones, and number 1 Apple Valley at 6:45. Host Minnetonka plays Cooper at 8:15, and in the final game of the day in the school's East Gym, it's Armstrong against Wayzata. Trojans are ranked number 9 in Class 4A in the preseason poll. Tickets will be available at the door. There's a lot of talent in
Busy
2
over there.
gyms over at Minnetonka Saturday.
All right. Thanks, John. Up next, something new brewing in Maple Grove.
Shannon Slatton is there with a preview. Shannon?
That's right. Have you guys ever heard of latte art? We'll tell you what it is and where you can get it coming up in just a few minutes.
There's a new place to get your caffeine fix in Maple Grove.
2 local residents opened up the Daily Dose Cafe and Espresso in the Grove Shopping Center this week. Shannon Slatton is live in Maple Grove testing it out. So Shannon, how is it?
It's pretty good. It's a local option here in the Grove, right between Target and Maple Grove Hospital. Not only is it a coffee shop, it's a cafe and bakery too. Ben Haven here, Maple Grove guy. He is one of the ones running this place. How's it going so far?
It's been a pretty good opening week.
All right. And what led up to? Why did you guys want to open this?
I live in the neighborhood, just a few blocks away, and I got talking with my wife and my partner, and there's just nothing local that's independently owned. And so one thing led to another, and we showed up here.
Sure, this is a good option. Now, we saw the latte art earlier. What's that all about?
Besides being really cool and fun, the latte art kind of helps. It shows that it's unique, but it shows that it's a well-made latte. You have your different gradients of coloration in the drink. So it's really how it started. But then again, it looks really cool. So
Sure does. And you guys bake everything here too.
Yeah, I have a baker. She bakes everything fresh, pretty much daily, from scratch in her little kitchen. So.
Very good. Now, finally, tell us what's going on Saturday.
Saturday, we're going to have a grand opening, ribbon cutting. We'll have samplings of some of our drinks, some of our specialty coffees. We'll have some more latte art demonstrations from Eric, my barista.
And a chance to win free coffee?
Free coffee for a year, free drip coffee for a year, and other great prizes from local vendors, some of our specialty coffees, mugs, T-shirts, all that fun stuff.
All right, so there's a lot to come here and check out. Thank you very much, Ben Haven, for joining us. We are here at the Daily Dose. It's in the Grove, right between Target and the Maple Grove Hospital. Back to you, Alex and Jen.
I just want to see more of that.
The latte art.
That
I just
really
want a latte.
The little Santa was
Yes.
really elaborate.
Talented guy.
That's cool. A good option, something different to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all the news for now. Thanks so much for joining us.
The Community Corner is coming up next.